Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and we're here for the weekend review to the Brazilian Grand Prix of 2021, or the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, whichever way you want to put it. But yeah, it is the weekend review. We've had what a weekend in Formula One. What a weekend, right? Verstappen came here with a 19-point lead. People tipping him to be the favourite to go on and win this. Mercedes struggling to match Red Bull's pace all season long, and Hamilton came out with a different class all weekend. Got pole position, but then was disqualified because of a technical infringement. But again, absolutely brilliant drive in the sprint race. Got himself in 24 laps from last to fifth, which was incredible. Then he had to take a grid penalty. On top of that, because he had to take a new part of the power unit, the engine. So he had to take that. I just had a look at other channels. Maybe I should stay out of F1. I don't get what you mean by that, but no video of Max's onboard camera being made available. That's a very good point, and we'll get into that. But I'll also just mention as well, and I want to mention this as well. Like I was just saying, he started from 10th, worked his way up to 6th by the end of lap 1. Got past the Ferraris easy enough. Then obviously it was to get past Bottas, let him through, to then have a go at they're all bashing Hamilton. That's because they can't stand it, mate. They can't stand it that Hamilton's a better driver. They can't stand it. These guys don't know what they're talking about. But they say they do, but they don't. Let's be honest. They don't. Let's be honest. They don't know what they're talking about. I know one channel in particular don't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? But there you go. It's they like to say they do, but they don't. They talk out of crap about the sport. They don't know what they're talking about. But yeah. How did Max not get a penalty? I don't know. But like I said, from 10th to 1st, worked his way up to 3rd position on the grid. Got past Perez. Then it was an out-and-out fight with Max. Max weaving all over the place. Tried everything. Even tried outbraking even tried braking too late to force Hamilton off the road to keep the position. But even that didn't stop him. Hamilton would not be denied of the race victory today weekend. I don't think no matter what you did, Hamilton was not going to be stopped to win this Grand Prix. It was an absolutely brilliant weekend put by Hamilton. The pundits are making excuses and covering it up. It's so blatant. Did he force Hamilton off the track? The experts are all supposed to tell us it's a joke. Look, you know what I mean? And there's a good stat. Lewis over the weekend has overtaken every single driver this weekend, to go and win this Grand Prix. But Hamilton would not be denied this race victory. Right? No matter what you say about Hamilton and no matter what you think of him, that was an unbelievable performance. Right? All weekend, a class of his own. And do you know what? They've hit. That shows to me, it doesn't show to me of just our Big Up Dugout football channel as well, by the way. Go subscribe. It doesn't just show to me of Hamilton in a sense. It shows also Bottas was quick as well and hassling Perez and got further over Perez. So it shows to me that it shows a turn of pace that I think Mercedes have hit a sweet spot with that car. And if they've managed to do that with 3 races left, my God, Red Bull are going to be in for a shock of their lives with 3 races to go. Right? Imagine this: if Lewis because 19 points, 4 races to 12 points now with 3 races to go. If this carries on like this and generally has the pace to be able to compete and beat the Mercedes like that, and beat the Red Bulls like that, then I'm telling you now, mate, like he will, he will be able to do it. Hang on. Apparently, hang on. Ron Meadows has been called to the stewards by Mercedes because Hamilton undid his straps to get the Brazilian flag to stop on circuit. That's got to be a fine. Come on, man. That's a fine. That's not even a fine. Are you serious? Are you serious? If they give Hamilton more than a fine and actually affects the race result, I'm gonna go mad. Like I will bloody lose it. That's crap. That's crap. I'm not having that. Like if he gets a penalty that affects the race result, I will lose it. I will lose it. I'm not even joking. Hats off to Hamilton. I genuinely thought he was up against a wall of barriers he wouldn't be able to overcome. What a legend. Lewis always finds a way. He's always found a way. If Lewis did what Max did by pushing off the circuit, that would that what would reaction be? Oh, it would be absolutely like disgusting. Like he's a cheat, he's this, he's that, that's all the other. Her pundits hyping up Perez for holding Hamilton back, but not a peep about him coming from. Yeah, they did it in 2018 when he won from 14th on the grid. When he won 14th on the grid to first, they didn't give him like they gave the team also the credit. Even Hamilton tweeted out and said, "I don't see a lot of credit being given to my drive." Right? And immediately they went, "Oh yeah, he did do a drive well," but like you didn't say that at the reaction. You just said what a great strategy it was. Right? But the reason they had a great strategy is because they managed to actually like Lewis Hamilton summons his stewards for doing this. Yeah, like if yeah, so if he gets a pen that affects the race result, right, for this, then F1 is genuinely fixed, right, against him, right, against him, as that is complete bullshit. Right, I'm literally putting that as a tweet right now. Bear with me. I'm just putting that as a tweet right now. I'm just putting this quickly. There you go. Quick reply to that. But told you they'd try it after the race. You know what I mean? Like Lewis Hamilton is one man you don't underestimate. Yeah, it shouldn't even be a fine, man. Like, he's picked up the flag for God's sake. The Twitter is gone mad. I stay off it now, mate. I don't care, man. Like, I don't care. I'll say it as it is. Right? If people want to have a go at me because, like, I'll say it as it is, like, then you can get lost, man. Like, right? No matter what dirty tricks Max tried, right? Tried, right? He wasn't stopping Lewis this. Well done for saying. I'll say as it is. I'll just put my tweets out. I'll say what my tweets are literally like that. I'll say what I generally think, right? On any situation that I feel I need to respond in, I will respond exactly how I think. If people don't like it and want to challenge me, fine. Yeah, well, and actually, instead of doing it on Twitter like a bloody troll they are, why don't they come on here and actually challenge my opinion? Right? I see loads of people that have like I've seen plenty of people that have challenged my opinion on Twitter at times, and I'm like, yeah, well, come on here and say so. And they haven't got the bollocks to. They haven't got the balls. So I'm like that. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I say as it is, like, and if they don't like it, well, come on here and say so. Say why my opinion's wrong. If you don't say, if you can't, then leave it. Just still, like, uh, even it to be more right. Let me know if you can hear the commentary, man. Like, you haven't guessed. So I sent you the link. Like, I've sent you the link the last 3 times now. Also, shout out to Gasly. He's one of the most informed drivers on the planet. He is. There's a really informed driver in a minute. We'll go through the ratings in a sec. Like, but like people were saying, like, for Silverstone, then, well, Silverstone, like, like Silverstone, right? Here's my thing about Silverstone, like that accident. I've done a video, and you can go back and check on my videos of explaining like what happened and what has happened before. And this time I said Hamilton was not going to back down. Hamilton went down the inside and wasn't going to back down. Now, at one point, if you go frame by frame with that accident, Hamilton is like that, side by side. He's then backed off massively because he knows he's got a sharp turn in the corner with full of fuel. So he's had to turn in very, very late, very like back off very early to make the corner. Max Verstappen, thinking it's Max Verstappen, that thinks he doesn't have to back down and doesn't have to slow down. So he decides, I'm going to take the normal line. Now, he knows Hamilton's there because at one point he's there. So he must know he's there. So he doesn't ever take the norm, like the alternative outside line. He just decides, I'm going to cut, and his steering angle, just use this as a steering wheel. He goes like this, and then Max does this in the middle of the corner, which then sharpens the turning angle and turns the turning angle into a path where it's going to hit Hamilton no matter what Hamilton does, right? So, like, whose fault's that? Because Hamilton has backed off and done that to make around the corner no matter what, and he's kept it like that. He never turned the steering wheel further out to go and hit Lewis. So how's that? So how's that Lewis Hamilton's fault? Right? Because he's side by side, so he's generally allowed to make that corner. He's generally allowed to make an attempt to go and get past him. So like it's a 50-50, and if you want to put more of the blame on it, it's more Max because he's the one that's turned him even sharper into the path of Lewis. Like if people don't understand the sport, like but Max. Apparently, it's going to be a fine. I've just been trying to read into this. So apparently, it says it is going to be a fine. It's not going to be any more than that. So fine, I'll leave that. Don't really bother me. But you should go. You should defo go on. I like to hear what you have to say. Like I've sent you the link, mate. You've asked for the link. I've sent it to you on Instagram. So the sad thing is, the other drivers had some exciting racing, but it's all been about overshadowed fixing. Like, let me try and bring him in. Adam,
Hello?
you
Yeah, sorry it took long. I was trying to log in my phone, but it was being very slow, so I had to put it in the laptop instead.
that's all right. How are you, my friend?
I'm very good. I'm happy that Lewis won. Uh, I just feel today. I just had a feeling Lewis was going to win today. I don't know why it was. I just had a feeling he was going to win, and I. I swear, if Lewis gets a penalty, I am gonna.
He's not. He's not gonna get a fine.
He shouldn't even get a fine, in my opinion.
Yeah, but there you go.
Oh,
It's one of those like
I'm sorry,
I'll happily. I think he
Steve.
happily paid a fine to do what he
Yeah,
wanted to.
I accidentally left my phone charger downstairs. I'll be 2 minutes.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Right. So yeah, it's likely to be a fine. Yeah. Um. Yeah. It's like I would like it's been a quite dubious some of the decisions it's been quite dubious. So let me just give you the current standings right now.
I'm back.
Yeah. Let me just give you the current standings right now as they stand. I'm going to start with the Constructors Championship. So the Constructors Championship so far, now Mercedes are now 11 points clear in the championship. Ferrari are now they are 287. They are now 31.5 points in front of McLaren.
McLaren look off the pace at the moment.
I think Ferrari have found a sweet spot with their car.
Yeah.
I don't think
What
they've
do you
made any
think?
significant upgrades.
Actually, sorry for interrupting you, but what do you think's happening with McLaren? Because they in the past few races, Lando and Danny have looked a bit. Uh,
Yeah, I think generally that some of the tracks haven't suited the car too well, and
yeah.
I think also Ferrari have found some. I think they found some sort of sweet spot with their car compared to McLaren. So, because obviously teams aren't really investing in the rest of the season because of next season and saving the money. That's why Mercedes are struggling like they are. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that fight for third is really sort of coming to a close now with that one. I'm looking at down the grid with Williams are ahead of Alfa Romeo this season already. So it's a good performance by them.
Yeah.
Aston Martin, there's a good fight on between the AlphaTauris and the Alpines for fifth. Between them, there's 112 points each exactly. So there's a good fight there. I'm gonna give you this drivers' standings as they stand. So after round 19 of the FIA Formula One Championship, Max Verstappen leads by is 332.5. Lewis Hamilton is second and 318, which makes it a 12 point 13 point gap in the championship, thanks to Perez getting that extra lap point. Bottas third with 203, with Sergio Perez 178. Perez needs to try and pick up some more performances like he did in Mexico to try and get Red Bull to win that title. I think if it goes to anything, the most likely thing it might happen, it might be a Max Verstappen title with a Mercedes Constructors, right? But
Yeah.
But I do think as well is that but like I said, I still say like Hamilton can still overturn this, and I think finally Mercedes have found some sort of sweet spot with their car. They've
Yeah, I
been
mean,
trying to find for ages.
Hamilton and Bottas both look like, obviously Hamilton did an amazing drive, but I'd say they both looked quite comfortable. I mean, I wouldn't, I don't know how to put it, but I'd say that I think they have found a bit of a rhythm now. And with all the stuff, I mean, I don't get why people say, oh, the decisions go Lewis's way. Well, clearly not.
Yeah, I'm
It's,
just I'm just this. They are just Hamilton haters.
sit down.
F1. Yeah, I mean, like, it makes it quite interesting now because obviously you've got now with. I was gonna say at one point Perez would have to be careful Lando Norris, but with McLaren have dropped off, I wouldn't be so sure. George Russell is fifth, like managing to get 16 points on the board
That's
for
impressive.
Williams, which has been impressive all season. He's
And
been
this,
impressive all season anyway. But like, 3 races to go, 12 points, anything's possible.
yeah,
Like,
I mean,
so
yeah,
I mean, if he wins the next 2 Grand Prix, sorry, Lewis, he knocks it down to 13. 7 would be 6, and then the next one would be +1.
how
So if
many
he wins the
races
next 2
is
Grand
there
Prix, he
again?
gets ahead by a point.
How many races is there again? Like,
3 races left.
it's very. Would you say this is the most intense, like, championship battle since 2016, maybe? Or
No, was maybe in 2016. Maybe I would say maybe. I would say 2000, maybe 8.
oh, I want to see Horner interviewing right now. Not because I like Horner, but I just want to see what the reaction is if like who's that
Oh
Ricardo?
no, he'll probably say, "How dare he take his belts off? Why it's endangering? It could
He
have
pushed
like
Max.
endangered."
He pushed Max on the track. Like
No. What Christian Horner says, he will say this. Oh no, that's just fair hard racing. Like he's not gonna just give up the position. Like what I'm really disgusted with is like how is it Hamilton is only getting fined for taking off his belt? He could have surely endangered his own life if he had an accident. Like it's and like and if you're endangering life, you deserve a penalty. That's probably what he'll say. Some bullshit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, I used to like Christian Horner, but the guy just, you can tell he doesn't like Lewis. Like, he,
well, he doesn't like this is because he's won. Like, he's got in the way of him winning anything.
yeah,
Like, he just constantly moans about everything and everything. Like, he just can't stand the fact that Hamilton's such the better driver right now.
I just don't like the Red Bull team in general. I think it's just a bit, like, as long as Max is there, whoever's there will be as a second driver.
Yep, exactly.
Especially if
Exactly.
Max wins this season, then they're definitely a second driver.
Yeah, I'm just quickly just trying to reset this template. Be with me, sir. Like, it's, I mean, it's just that whole move. People are saying, like, where's the evidence on board of the steering wheel? It's
Don't
nothing
mind
to
they're
do with the
showing us.
steering. It's not the steering wheel that's the problem. It's the braking zone. What you need to
Yeah,
see is how later did he brake, right? Because like he was never going to turn in with that amount of braking anyway. So it's about how late he braked, and he braked. Hamilton broke at the braking point, and you see Verstappen immediately close on him because he's braking about 5 tenths later. And if you're braking half a second later, you're never going to make the corner. Simple as
yeah.
that. And if you don't, so and that is deliberately outbraking yourself to force someone off the road. He knows if he takes out Lewis, like it puts him in an even better position in the championship, like in nearly an impossible situation for Lewis
Mm.
to win and having to win all 3 races.
I find
Um,
it so funny that you know, I think there was someone in your comments earlier.
uh,
Was it like
oh
someone
no,
said, "Oh, how is Hamilton leading? He's a cheater." What the hell did Hamilton do? Oh, he overtook him. Is that cheating now?
no, mate, they're just mate. The guy says that like like the guy was coming in saying like because Max Verstappen is leading the championship, that makes him the better driver. Well, that's kind of like
Tell
saying
me when Max
Aubameyang.
Verstappen wins 7 world
That Yeah,
championships.
but that's kind of like me would say is Aubameyang scoring more goals than Ronaldo this season. That makes him the better player.
What?
No, but this is
I
what I'm
know.
saying, right? This is what I'm saying. These people that says that, oh yeah, Max Verstappen's a better driver. He's look who's leading the championship. That me saying, well, hang on a minute, right? Um, uh, Aubameyang scored more goals than Ronaldo this season. Does that make him better than Ronaldo now?
Hmm.
No.
No.
So, like, what are you on about then? You're talking crap. Like, just because he's done like well in one season, in general, he is not a better driver. And I put it like this because, and I give you it in full detail, because, and I put it like, because he's not won 7 world titles. He's not won 101 Grand Prix. He's not won 102 pole positions, 169 podiums, or something like that. I can't remember how much exactly, but somewhere around there, about 170 odd podiums. Until he's done all that, he is not as good as Hamilton.
No, he's got.
Facts.
In fact, he's not even better than Kimi Raikkonen. Like, what I mean
Yeah.
is, what I mean is, like he hasn't won a championship yet. You can't confirm he's won it this season because
Hmm.
I tell you, when we go, is Qatar next week or the week after?
It's. I'm just gonna quickly.
By next week, I mean this week coming.
Right. I'm gonna show you. Right. So like Max Verstappen has won 19 Grand Prix. He's not even reached 20 Grand Prix this season, right? So here we go, right? Lewis Lewis Hamilton, like is yeah Lewis Hamilton is at the top with 101. Uh, Germany, Michael Schumacher in second. Vettel is third. Prost is fourth. Senna
Yeah.
is fifth. Alonso is sixth. Mansell is 7th. Jackie
Sorry.
Stewart is 8th. Jim Clark is 9th. Lauda is 10th. Fangio is 11th. Piquet is 12th. Rosberg's 13th. Damon Hill's 14th. Kimi Raikkonen, then Mika Hakkinen, then Verstappen. So he is not on any level. Like if you want to go there and get into the whole like stats of it, Max Verstappen is not a better driver than all the names I've just read out there. Because all of them have won one more title or more.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
I have a lot of people saying I hate Max, which is not true. I do not hate Max. I just think that he does a lot of dumb stuff, and I think he needs to grow because he sometimes acts like a 5-year-old, in my opinion. Like where he can't take, if it's not his way, he'll just won't accept it. You know what I mean? Do you get what I mean by saying, if Christian Horner, to be fair, acts like
Mm.
a baby, because he says
Mate, mate, just that 2 weeks between Britain and Hungary, I'm gonna put Albon in a simulator to simulate that accident to try and prove Hamilton's deserves a better penalty. That says it all, doesn't it? It says it all in a nutshell. Like I'm just gonna show it. Look, I'm just gonna quickly show it. Like because all these people, like have won a championship. So like, and there's some names that I've mentioned. Like you're simply saying then, right? Max Verstappen, who's only won 19 Grand Prix and no championships yet, is better than Manuel Fangio.
hell no.
Bollocks, right? He's better than Alain Prost,
Listen,
who's
you
won
can't
four
say
times.
he's better than a driver who has a championship when he doesn't have one.
Yeah, when he's won, when Alain Prost has won 4, Ayrton Senna's won 3, right? Ayrton Senna,
Fangio's won 5, I
Niki
believe.
Lauda came back from a fiery accident to win 2 more championships, right? There you go, the greatest sporting comeback ever.
He's not
Right?
better than Jenson Button.
No, Jenson Button. No, he's better than. Is he? No, he's better than Jenson Button. Jenson Button didn't win that many races. He won 15.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
But
but like I'm saying, is like, there you go. It says it in a nutshell.
yeah,
Right?
I've heard some brain dead F1 fans mentioning him in the top 5 drivers of all time,
Well,
which
do you know why? It's because people like Sky sensationalize over the next big thing. You watch this. If Russell kicks off at Mercedes, like Hamilton did, which I would say I wouldn't mind, to be honest. I wouldn't mind if what Russell beat Hamilton next season. I wouldn't be sad about it because I'm a massive Russell fan. I love Russell, right?
yeah,
And I'd rather him beat Hamilton than Max Verstappen.
Verstappen or
And I know Hamilton, he'll go in there and he will help him. He'll help him every step of the way. He'll learn. He'll help him learn
yeah. The
like the
thing
best way
is,
possible.
I don't think Mercedes has the toxic environment Red Bull does.
They don't. They
You know,
used to have it with they've
I
managed to
agree
work
with
it
what
out.
you said actually,
But
that
the
the cars are
problem,
suited to both drivers.
yeah, this is what I'm saying. They always have been suited to both drivers. But I think the problem is that this is why they didn't want to put Russell in the car because they didn't have that unstable relationship that they had with Rosberg and Hamilton. But I do feel Russell is a different sort of character to Rosberg and something that I think both of them can hit off quite well.
Are you
It's
excited
kind of
for us
like,
to get Mercedes next year?
yeah, I am. It's kind of like, do you know what? With Hamilton with only 2 left years on his contract, right? And Russell coming into the team as a brand
Yeah.
new driver. Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember that the breaking point series on the F1 game?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
played
the
it.
old guy gets 2 seasons left, doesn't he?
Ackerman, I think.
Yeah, Ackerman, right? Who's supposed to be the legend, the driver that he is. So it's kind of like that. George Russell's coming into the team, and he's got to try and prove that he's the next star and the one they should be turning to. And Hamilton's got to sit there and try and prove that he's still got it. Like,
Yeah.
so it's going to be interesting. But for me, like, I just want to see Hamilton win an 8th title. If he wins his 8th title, I couldn't care what happened next season.
Yeah,
To be
if
honest, as much as I'd love him to win it, I just want him to win it.
He's
Just
not
to
going to
prove
do it
everyone wrong.
this year because he's already been announced for 2022. But had he not, had Hamilton won his 8th, do you think he would have retired if he hadn't been announced? Because we know he's going to drive next year regardless of if he gets
He
it.
might have done. He might
I
have
know
done.
it's a stupid question, but
I think he said himself he's not really bothered about the title championship in a sense, but he would. He said he would love to win it. He would like to win it, obviously, but he doesn't mind it. He just loves the fight. He loves the competition. He loves that's why even when he's lost races that he should have won, he's not angry.
he should have won Monza, in my opinion. He was going to win Monza.
He was going to win the Monza Grand Prix, but who decided to take him out knowing that he's got a gap in the
Verstappen.
championship?
And do you know what I didn't like about that? The response from Max. He almost could have killed Hamilton. The first thing he said, that's what
He
you
would
get
have
when
killed
you don't
Hamilton if there was no halo.
And this is why I don't get people hate on the halo. Because I'll mention a year ago, do you know Grosjean's crashing back?
Yeah, and I know that. But when I first started watching, I watched. How long have you been watching F1?
4 years.
4 years. So I've been watching it since when I've been watching it since 2000. So you've grown up really knowing that the F1 cars having a halo on, right?
Yes.
I used to watch the cars when they had no halo, right?
Fair
and
enough.
it used to look like pieces of art, right? I remember when they put 2012, it made them look like a platypus nose because they had to put they had to put a massive like 90 degree angle on it, like a vertical angle on it to get the nose lower, right? It looked, and people were mad about that, which they then scrapped anyway, right? So I've always been used to cars without the halo. So when the halo first came in, and you just saw that big black thing on this on the Mercedes car, it was like, oh man, seriously, it looks horrible. But now they've managed to find a way to blend it in a little bit more, and now you get used to it, you know.
I think.
Oh, look at that! Look at that Albon. Look, second in the sprint race. Ted is wearing the sprint race second place wreath, which they used to do wreaths. They don't do wreaths anymore because it hides the sponsors.
Do you like this idea?
Anyone like the new Turkey and watching it is kind of cool, but it still can't help. Yeah, I've watched it. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched Clarkson, May, or Hammond at all on the other one. I haven't watched it at all. Matson Horner's radio message after finish, so staged. I didn't hear it, but I'd have to hear it later. Being watching
it's probably going to be.
How dare he win the race over me? You could just,
Christian.
It's like when he got caught, but he missed out on pole. Remember he lost out on pole and brought him out, and Max Verstappen had to turn the camera away. And I'm like, well, that shows Hamilton's in your head, mate.
Yeah, and it's like, why do
they hate on any? No, it's not really too much on Hamilton. It's anyone that stands in their way of winning a title. That's who they hate on. That's why they're hating on Hamilton, because he's the only one that's going to stand in the way of Red Bull winning a title. I will just mention as well is that when I've looked at it, these last 4 races with a 19-point gap. I've said that the pressure is now going to be on Max.
I agree.
The pressure is now on Max Verstappen, and the more he has that gap, and the less races we have, the more pressure exists. And this is a pressure he's never had before. The pressure of being able to trying to hold off a guy who's got nothing left to lose, which is Lewis Hamilton, right? And try and beat him fair and square and wrap up this title. Wrapping up a title is the hardest thing you can do, right? That's why Hamilton's first one went down to the last race, to the last very corner, right? That's why I still believe Hamilton can do it, because it went down to the last corner when 2 laps ago he lost on the same corner and lost the position. So that's like how difficult that pressure is. And the more it comes down to it, the more they keep hyping him up, the more pressure he's going to put him under. Right? And
Yeah.
so far, he's dealt well with it. But now, the first chance he's had, like those 4 races left and that 19-point gap,
Yeah.
after you saw the way he celebrated in Mexico, you'd think they won the bloody championship. Like the way
Yeah.
they're celebrating in Mexico, and I'm like, hang on, he ain't won it yet. Like, you
And
ain't won it yet.
you
What are you
just
on
saw
about?
everyone saying all the championships over. Max has won it.
Yeah, I said it, but I was like, no, it's not over yet. And it's like I
And
said,
and
you
when you
never
say that,
write him
people
off.
just call you a salty Hamilton fan, which I don't get.
No, it's just like you don't write a 7 times world champion off.
Because
7 times world champions off don't win.
yeah,
Like by just giving up after being a 19-point gap with
all
4
I'm gonna
races left.
say
If
is
they
that
go to the very end.
Hamilton beat, I believe, was it Massa at the last corner of the race to win a
That's
championship.
where I just said there
Also,
after
and I think
two
Vettel,
laps before
yeah,
and 2
Vettel
laps before
won. Sorry,
2
sorry.
laps before Vettel overtook him to take that position away. So it looked like the championship was gone. So but like I said, the first chance he's had now to wrap this title up with 19 points with 4 races left, he's gone and bottled it.
I think
Bottled it.
I think Mercedes they're always going to be motivated, but I think with this win, and because they look really fast, like
I
obviously they're
don't,
going to be,
yeah, I
but
don't see where it's come from, man. Where's this space come from, man?
what
Yeah,
you talking?
where's where's the pace come from? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I thought you were disagreeing with me then, but you know, it's especially because their straight speed looks quite good. I think Louis. I'm not gonna just say out, but I have a good feeling that if he has no penalties are out, Lewis will win Qatar. And then it'll go. Oh, that would actually be good. Like if Lewis won and then it went down to final race. I tell you what though, were you stressed watching that race, thinking? Because I know I was. I was like, oh no. I th-
Yeah, I mean, sorry to that.
no problem. No problem.
Sorry, just got to try this to this. I just got to write this. Got to write this up. Sorry, and then we go on to the ratings.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Yes, Damon Hill was a class, but treated our drivers with respect. Yeah, when I compare the way himself compared to shows, but yeah, absolutely. And it's like I just said. So yeah, I'll just go like so. Yeah, Jackie Stewart's not as good as So like, this is what I'm saying with these Verstappen fans. Yeah, Jackie Stewart's not as good as Max Verstappen. Yeah, right. Uh, Jim Clark, Clark, like 20, like it's not as good. Like Mansell, like it's not as good. Like
What?
Mansell, I'd say he had to have a car that was 1.6 seconds quicker than everyone else. I would say, but there you go. But PK definitely not. But like anyway, but we'll move on. We've got to go to ratings. Got to
No
go to
problem.
the ratings now because we spent so long talking.
It's your channel,
Hamilton's rear wing
mate.
failed its DRS test by 0.2 millimeters. Just reviewed it. I'm gobsmacked at the penalty. Yeah, but unfortunately, it's so there's a 5. Hang on, we have now got a 5 I think it's euro fine, with a 20,000 suspended euro fine to 2022.
What?
Right, let me get this up. F1.
What?
F1 right now, it would have it.
Is this about Hamilton's fine?
Yeah.
How bad is it? Oh,
George Russell just said, I'll be watching that one back later. Congrats, Lewis Hamilton. You're an absolute beast. Like, giving it up for his teammate next season. You know what I mean?
yeah.
From 10th to 1st, by the way, guys. 10th. Nicely done, Max. Nicely done, P2, mate. Solid points. Yeah, mate, I tried. But I could not quick. Yeah, mate, you know you're under pressure now, man. You're under pressure now, my friend.
Like, if he doesn't, I'm saying this now. When Verstappen doesn't have Perez behind him, when Hamilton passed Perez, I was like, now he's gonna panic
I told you he's in trouble. He's in trouble.
because he
I
needs
said it.
Perez
What did
behind
I
him.
say at the start of the race? Hamilton's gonna get it.
Hmm.
Right, I saw the start of that race and I was like,
Can I
Hamilton's gonna
can I
get
ask
it.
you a question? Who's
Yeah, go on.
Tico's favorite driver?
Tycho, he's more of a Ferrari fan
Oh,
rather than a driver, Pacific driver.
are you a Ferrari fan?
Yeah, I'm trying to see where the penalty. There should be a penalty coming up.
Are you a Mercedes fan or are you just like Hamilton?
No, I'm a Hamilton fan. So when he moved to Mercedes, I started watching Mercedes stuff.
Yeah, to be fair, like,
Nah, I can't. Yeah, I can't see the fine being put up yet. Gotta go. No worries, man. I'm gonna quickly do the ratings now. Anyway, actually, do you know what? You got to pop to the shops. You sure you can't stay for an extra 5 minutes? I'm just gonna share the link in the chat. Actually, like if you want to come on, actually you can do. Just gonna quickly show this. Right.
I am so glad
I would
that
just love to get Mr. K on, so I want to get Mr. K on quickly as well. So I want to hear your thoughts quickly, mate. So if you could come on, please do come on, man, because I'd love to hear.
I am so happy because I will not have to hear when I go into school that song that they play and it goes that Max song that they do.
What song is this?
Or it's like Max Super Max or something.
Yeah. I said, mate. I said that would be like Super Max. He said, what does that make Hamilton a fucking legend?
He is though.
Yeah, he already is, but like
He's the GOAT.
just by the way, said, look, like you keep saying about Super Max, he still ain't like, even if he wins his championship, he's still one less racist than Nico Rosberg.
Yeah.
So he's still on Nico Rosberg's level. So, like, keep dreaming. But anyway, we're gonna go for it. And by the way, the way things are gonna be more leveled up next season, you ain't gonna see probably maybe a level of dominance that we've seen from Mercedes. That's what's gonna take to try and win 7 world titles. You ain't gonna probably see it for a long time. So, but there you go. Unless someone pulls out something out of the bag.
Do you
Anyway,
think?
let's go on.
No, I'll tell you after.
All right. Anyway, let's go. We're gonna go with back to front as usual. So I'm gonna get up the race result. Let's have a look at Brazil. Oh, they call it the Sao Paulo Grand Prix now, do they? Oh, I got it wrong then. Screw it. So let's start from the back. So Lance Stroll was a retirement in this race. Did you make Lance Stroll's performance poor?
I mean,
Poor weekend overall. He didn't even make qualifying too.
yeah.
Very poor.
Yeah. I mean, Stroll. You expect him to finish maybe around P14, P13, like that's where he not. So I'd say yeah, poor weekend from Stroll.
I'd say very poor, to be honest, because he didn't get out of Q1. You expect him to get out of
Yeah,
Q1
fair
at
enough.
least. The next retiree was
Danny
Danny
Rick.
Ricardo. Danny Rick.
Oh, damn! I love Ricardo, man.
He didn't have a good weekend, did he?
No, no. Ricardo, it's either 50-50. Some weekends he's very good, and then others he's a bit poor.
Very poor by his standards.
Yeah. Do you agree, though, that it's been 50-50 for Danny Rick this season?
I think he is the only other winner apart from Bottas,
Hamilton,
and Verstappen.
Verstappen. No, Ocon. Ocon won.
Oh, and Ocon. Sorry, yeah, Ocon. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Ocon did win
Mick
in
Schumacher.
Hungary.
Yeah, Mick Schumacher. Yeah, and if it weren't for Alonso, it would have been Hamilton's. But there you go.
I don't want to say trash because he's in a has. I feel like the front wing incident definitely played a part in.
Yeah, that for me, that's like I'll put him in poor, extremely poor, and like Mazepin just usually is just trash. Right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Mr. K, how are you, my friend?
Not too bad, not too bad. Let me turn off the stream over here because I can hear you twice. No, I managed to send my little boy with my wife instead. It was one of those ones where the wife looks at me and goes, "You've been on Formula One all this time. Come out to the shops." So listen, how far we've got with this now?
We've only just started. We're up to about the 18th place.
Right,
So,
brilliant.
we're starting on the 17th. So, but yeah, quickly before we carry on with this, like your thoughts on the Grand Prix itself, just quickly.
I tell you the truth, my concentration and my focus was actually at the front all the time, and there was just so much going on. And I thought to myself, this is an exciting race. It's one of those season-defining races where it looks like Max is off into the distance. Lewis is being sent to the back, and it's almost like you can't possibly come back from this. And I think to myself, when I think back of all the great races I've seen in the past with Schumacher, Alonso, all the greats which have come before, this is these type of moments that define a true legend, a true great in the sport. And really, I think if he goes on to win the title, then this will be the race that everyone will talk about. Because I think if you look at, for example, the way he hunted down Vettel, the way Button, for example, hunted down Vettel when he was in Canada, it's all about, if you're on the front, can you maintain your composure, right? And it's easy to be, having a really great car, be in the front, zoom away, create 10, 15-second gap, so forth, and then maintain that. But when you've got people behind you that constantly in your mirror,
got in the championship, isn't it? That
that's right.
Has
so
now seen it out.
I think Max is like maybe needs to mature into this. I mean, he's still a young man, so I don't want to completely knock him. And whatever the shenanigans that the racing club actually does, what Red Bull does, I mean, they're a collective. They have no choice. That's the policies that they do. I don't actually hate on the boy. Fair enough, he has a arrogance and a swagger. And sometimes, in sports like this, you actually like things like that. Yeah. But here, what you're seeing is an absolute legend who's about to stamp something in history. And I started off the stream right at the beginning thinking, nah, it's not going to happen. I told you at the beginning, I said, nah, it's not going to happen. Why? Because I'm keeping my expectations low, because I could see the shenanigans going on for ages. But yeah, I thought it was an amazing race. I thought an amazing comeback from Lewis. And I thought also, a little mention to Bottas. He didn't bottle it too much. He came in third. And if you consider that, then I think that's consistent, because that's going to help the championship. I think they're 12 points ahead of Red Bull. Yeah. So, this is going to go to the wire. And, they could pull off the double, the drivers and the constructors. So, and both sides could pull that off. It's really, this is the closest I think we've seen any championship for some time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my 2 pence on that.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think with Lewis is that Lewis has been here, done that, got the t-shirt. He knows what to expect. And the thing is like the pressure's off him now. It's like really, his pressure's more Max. Everyone's been bigging up now Max to be the favourite to go on and win this. So it's more like he's more had I think he had more like sort of a freedom to go out and express like how. And I think also if what's more scary is I think for Red Bull is that it seems Mercedes found sort of a sweet spot. Where it's a specific circuit, I don't know, but it seemed actually genuinely that they found their sweet spot in qualifying in Mexico, and then they found it in both the race and qualifying here in Brazil.
Yeah.
So it looks to
I
me
mean, after
like
what you
they
spoke
found,
about earlier, I went to review the qualifications and so forth, and I realized you're absolutely right. It wasn't just a race setup; it was actually a qualification and race setup. So really, they've been consistently good throughout the whole weekend. So really, they found a sweet spot, and that bodes well for the end of the title clash. You know, I mean, at some stage, you know, everyone's been wanting for Max to, like, you know, win a championship. We all know that eventually he's going to be going in that direction. But the way I see it, if Mercedes can really pick up this season and overcome and actually win this season, and going into next season when Russell comes in, you know, we're going to have a very good dynamic.
yeah.
You know, what's it going to be like for Russell to go up against Max in a very good
That is
competitive car?
considering Mercedes though are going to still be the fun because we don't exactly know how the regs are going to play out for every team at the minute. Who's going to get the most? This is why Mercedes has been trying to save so much money towards that in the first place, and hence why they're probably in the position they're in. So I think if they had the funds available, they would have invested also in this season, and we would have probably had a different title race. To be honest, the fact Hamilton, and I would say this as well, Hamilton's been doing this while he's. Sometimes, if you saw Hungarian Grand Prix went up on the podium, he was physically broken and had to be checked by a doctor afterwards because he admitted himself he had a bit of long COVID throughout this season. Because he caught COVID towards the end of last season. He's had a bit of long COVID. He's also had a car that's not been well developed and not had many upgrades as much as Red Bull has been pumping upgrades into it. So the fact that be able to still be in the title race and still find a turn of 4 is pretty remarkable.
I mean, isn't it similar to when Vettel was with Ferrari and Ferrari had a really good car about 3 seasons ago?
Yeah, 2018. He like Ferrari. Most of that season were faster. Like,
Yeah.
and again, that they said that car was more of a diva that season, trying to find its sweet spot. And they found a sweet spot with it, and it seemed to click. And even in racing, I think the most defining one was Singapore 2018, where everyone expected him to be 5th or 6th, even behind the Red Bulls. And then he pulls out of that, and even all the rest of the grid, even Toto Wolff was like, "How did he do that?" No one.
I mean, you can genuinely see
never
that.
saw in practice, not in any sort of qualifying one whatsoever. They all seem to be in 5th or 6th or somewhere there, and then he comes out and pulls a lap like that. It was just poetry in motion. And if you go back and watch it, not one oversteer, not one correction, not one wheel spin, not nothing.
I mean, that's consistency. That, you know, all the greats have this very efficient way of driving, which protects the fuel, it protects their tires, and that efficient driving is consistent.
They learn
and
how to also manage the tires. You see how Lewis now. Look at his tire management. You saw it there. People were that, like, I think during that stream, that watch along we were just doing there, we were talking about why is he not pitting straight? Why is he not responding? Why is he not responding?
He looks after his tires.
I said to him, give it a couple of laps, because what he does, he lets Max push it absolute bollocks out of his tires to stay in front and get the undercut, which is all fair. But that's like 2 or 3 laps of hard pushing. You haven't been able to bring those tires nicely into the window you want. You've been burning them out too much, and you could tell because his fronts were pretty much dead. Like, by the time Hamilton had pitted, you've already seen Hamilton been able to close him back down because he's already taken the best out of his tires. Whereas Hamilton didn't lose as much time because he's pushing on tires that still got a little bit of life, but they've managed to. He's pushing on tires that he knows he's just going to get rid of in about 2 or 3 laps, so he can take the life out of them. Like he could work that to his advantage. Stop it a few laps later. Yeah, he's lost another second, but because he spent Max has spent all of that time taking all those life out of the tires, it's meant that Hamilton can now easily close the gap because he could bring the tires into the window and look after his tyres the way they need to be looked after
Yeah.
to be able to go on and win the race. And that's understanding the tyres and use them against your opponent to your advantage. And it's something that Max has got that's the inexperience of Max at the minute. And he just doesn't
I mean,
learn that
Max
skill.
is a little bit of an aggressive driver.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's moments when all drivers, if they want to be at the front, they have to be slightly aggressive anyway. But it's the silky smoothness of how you take yourself around corners and how you bite and you overtake people that's really going to define things. Sorry, can you hear the washing machine at all? Is it too loud?
Yes, it's all right. It's fine.
Okay, right. Sorry about that. I just totally forgot the missus left
Yeah,
out.
it's all right. I have that at times as well.
It's just that you would. It's just that I was about to go, and you said, "Listen, you know what? We've only got a few little bit of time. You might as well just quickly stay on." And I thought to myself, you know what? If my son can go instead, then hey, man, let me just catch the rest of your stream. Because look, I tell you the truth. You know, when you love a sport and you've been watching it for a very long time, you've got lots of memories inside you, you know, of all the great things that have happened. And when you retrospectively look at them, you tend to be more like they tend to be. You tend to have a more tender approach towards them. When at the time you tend to be quite fired up, but when you look back, you tend to be quite emotional about it. And what I've seen this season, the shenanigans that I've seen Red Bull do, it really kind of put me off. It wasn't just so much what Red Bull was doing. It was also the way the commentators and the pundits were talking about it. I was thinking to myself, hold on a second, this guy's a 7-time world champion. You know, why has it taken so long for him to get recognition? And even after recognition, now it's time to beat him back down. Whether you like Hamilton or you don't like Hamilton, you got to like give him hats off for his achievements. And, you know, he didn't have exactly Formula One, like, you know, silver platter on a plate or something. You know, he had to earn it. His father had to work hard for it.
This is what I'm saying, is people saying, yeah, we got sponsored by McLaren and Mondennis, who said, yeah, but that doesn't mean you like just turn up and then all of a sudden you get a sponsorship deal, mate. You have to go and earn that. And even then, he had to sell 4 jobs to be able to go out and prove he can earn it and earn that sort of sponsorship.
I mean, it's not like Stroll where he walks into it with money.
Ron Dennis don't put that sort of trust in the driver if he knows he ain't going to be a star. And it's like Pedro de la Rosa he saw the data on his first ever won an F1 car and immediately said to himself, holy shit. So you have to earn it at that level to be able to get some sort of deal like that.
Yeah.
So, and same with like any academy driver for Ferrari, George Russell at Mercedes, Ferrari with Mick Schumacher, just like they have to go and earn that to be in the academy. You only get you only get to be in the academy if you're the best of the best. So,
I mean, at the end of the day, the sponsorship money that comes in for every single point that you get is worth millions.
Yeah.
Okay. So, go on.
For me, one thing I don't like is one of the reporters on Paul Di Resta, I think. You know, you can just tell he doesn't like Hamilton, and he does root for Verstappen, and I won't let anybody else tell me otherwise, because he says it, and Hamilton's even confronted him. I think he said, well, you know, I proved your myth wrong, something like that. And it's like, they think Hamilton's a rookie. Like, he's won 7 world champions. He's not going to be out this championship. Lewis Hamilton is one sportsman you cannot underestimate. Because if you underestimate, he will prove you wrong. You know,
he's always done it time and time again.
Lewis Hamilton to Formula One is like what Messi is to football, I'd say. You know, you can't underestimate them. They'll just prove you wrong.
I think in this generation, he's definitely, without doubt, hands down. The thing is, he's coming towards the end of his tenure, though. You know, and a lot of drivers, when they get towards the end, they tend to tail off, whereas he hasn't. He's just proved to be more and more consistent.
This is why Hamilton is like, he's got that luxury at the minute. He can choose when he wants to go. He can choose to have I bet if like the time comes, Mercedes 2 years later, even though I think we all know Toto Wolff's leaving in 2 years, right? I bet Mercedes will still offer Hamilton another 2-year contract, right? Because especially if he's still performing at that level 2 years later, which I still think he will. Right? And I think Hamilton will just have that luxury. I think, but I think Hamilton will have that luxury of choice to decide what he wants to do. There's loads of stuff he wants to do outside the sport, so he would never be just far away, and he won't be far away from the sport anyway, because he would still be doing Mission 44, Accelerate 2022 to accelerate as well, to try and push that diversity through for the sport. So like there's things around the sport he's doing to try and make it more accessible for everyone. Like so, and especially with kids that don't have a lot of money as well. And I feel that though the Total Wolf's leaving, I do feel that is when Hamilton. I think the reason they chose a 2-year contract, not a year contract this time, is because it brought it into the line in line with Total Wolf leaving the team, and I think the level of the friendship they have, I think a relationship they have, I think they would leave Mercedes together. But the problem is the Mercedes have to find someone just as good, but two drivers that are just as good. I think George Russell by then will prove that he's just as good or good enough to take the team on. But in a team principle point of view, it's going to be who's going to be able to take them forward from there. But like these things come to an end eventually. Like, but I do feel that 2 years later down the line, Hamilton will still be performing his best, but he'll choose to stop when Total Wolf goes.
Do you think he'll retire, or do you think he'll get a new team?
No, he will retire.
Yeah,
he will retire. He's a Mercedes boy. He's been Mercedes since he was 13 years old.
Yeah,
he's always been powered by a Mercedes.
Yeah, I think if he wins next year, I think he could retire then, but he might just stay for another year. Then I think in 2 years' time is when he'll retire. Man, when Hamilton said it.
Yeah, because Total Wolf will retire in 2 years. Total Wolf will leave Mercedes in 2 years' time. So anyway, we'll go back to.
Yeah, guys, unfortunately, I know you got to do this particular segment right now, and it's brilliant that you are doing it. Unfortunately, I do have one or two things which have come up. I didn't actually plan to be on this stream. Otherwise, I would have opened up some time. I've actually got some phone calls which have come through, and I've just been ignoring them so far. So I really do. I mean, they're persistently popping up now, so I've really got to pop off there. I'm really sorry about this, but listen, it's been absolutely fantastic watching your stream. I want to share this with other people. I want more people to be aware of your stream, because I think the passion that you show and the comments which pop up, it really is refreshing to see that. I mean, you're showing what we as fans want to see when we're watching this game. The real passion, really as if you're there, driving with it. And on top of that, the articulated knowledge that you have right here, the detailed knowledge that you have of what's actually happening behind the scenes is refreshing to hear from commentators. So listen, I want to thank you very much for having me on this.
When I watched the sport, I watched it since I was 5. And what's funny is a guy that I used to be a Schumacher fan, and 2005 I knew the car they weren't producing until San Marino. The car wasn't very good. That's the news that was coming out. I was only 10 years old at the time. Now everyone put me in like my dad would take me to his local, and they'd all ask, "Go on, Stephen, who's going to win a championship?" Thinking I'm going to say Schumacher and this, that, and all the other. And the Schumacher. I went Alonso. They went, what? Alonso. The car's crap this year. And the guy took this side and said, "Are you sure about this?" And he went, "Yeah, I'm sure. It's crap."
I tell you the truth, I grew up in the Schumacher time. For me,
he put a bet on that. He put a bet on what a 10-year-old had said and gone and won the money. I never saw a penny of it. But that's the
Listen,
thing.
you know what? You should save. You should have something like a segment.
It's like when I with the power unit. Like I immediately started trying to understand how the power unit works, so that if there's a problem in the race, if someone retires because of a technical issue with that, I can understand why what's good. Or someone say like when Mercedes, I think in Canada 2014, they lost all electrical power apart from their engine, so they lost 160 horsepower in their engine. Same like what Nico Rosberg had in that last fight with Lewis. So that if I did a watch along then, and it happened to Max, for example, the people that can't understand it, why is he dropped off so much? What's going on? It's because he's lost 160 horsepower in pace. Because he's lost part of his power unit, and
Listen, before I go, I'd just like to say that maybe some of these things can be put together in something called, Formula One stories or something that you can do, which don't necessarily need to be. You know what? There's so many people that have got stories inside themselves, and they can share this together with each other.
This will, as soon as much as it's been on SFeatleyTV, we are thinking of, like, we are seriously trying to work on getting a new channel exclusive for F1 as well. So I'll be having to be able to put more time into F1 as much time as with football as well. And I'll be trying. I think I'm working with FTV Sports on that. So there's where we
Sorry,
are trying to get
FTV.
into it. Yeah.
So you say FTB? You're kidding me. I do. I collaborate with FTB on the Sundays weekly catch-up show with Ian Moon. What a small world. I normally represent Paxton Road TV when I do it with them.
I mean, honestly, because I'm planning with. I've got suggested that, like, by friends of mine who've worked hard on this channel with us to try and pull away and do a separate F1 channel. And then
look, I tell you what, whatever you do, I'm certainly going to be viewing it.
And they said they wanted to do an F1 channel, so I think there's something in that they want me to, like, take hold of. If that's the case, then
listen, keep in touch. You know Eugene already, so let's get together. I mean, I think what's fantastic what you're doing, and especially your plans. If you want to separate the channels out to do that, I think that would be a good idea, because not an awful lot of football fans actually want to cross over to this. You got like over 1,000 subs in your main channel, but you've only got maybe half a dozen people actually popping up for the stream, because they don't even know it's been occurring. So if you have a dedicated one, you can actually build quite a bit of a following for that, and we can advertise and promote it for you through Paxton Road TV at the same time. But FTB is definitely they're a good network, cross-platform network. And I've been involved with them some time. So listen, all the best to you all, and the gentleman up here as well, to this guy over here. Thank you for coming on, Mr. Talk, Man United. But all the best. Take care. And Hamilton, what a goat.
Come on, man. Yes, that's what I hear.
My teacher's going to be fuming because he hates Hamilton. You know what I'm going to say to him? It's my math teacher. I'm going to say to him, "Sir, did you see the race yesterday? This Hamilton fella is pretty good, isn't he?"
But like that, I said, no, hang on. There's +1. There's +1 to 100 Grand Prix equal 101 Grand Prix wins. Just working out my maths, sir.
It's 100 and... I am done.
Right. I just said I'm just working out my new maths, my maths lesson today, sir. Oh yeah, what's that? There's 100 Grand Prix wins plus 1 Grand Prix win equal 101 Grand Prix wins.
Detention. If I get a detention, Steve.
I just said sorry. He said, "Oh, sorry, I'm just working out how many wins Hamilton's had."
Yeah, he really doesn't like Hamilton.
Well, why? Just ask why. What's your problem with him?
I think he's one of those people that thinks he's had it easy all his life, which he hasn't.
He hasn't had it easy all his life.
In fact, his dad had to work like 4 jobs just so he could have a chance at karting.
Yeah. I just said there's like, if you think he's had it easy in life, then you know absolutely nothing about F1.
Yeah, so 100 plus 1
you
equals...
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just simple as that. If you don't like him because he's had it easy, you know absolutely jack all about F1. Because winning 7 titles is not having it easy. If you think it's that, because I said, if you think it's that easy, mate, jump in the car, and do it yourself.
I would love to be an F1 driver, but
try and fund it as a maths teacher. You couldn't fund it as a maths teacher, right? His dad had to 4 jobs to fund it, to just get the sponsorship deal from Mercedes, right? And he had to earn that. He didn't have to get given it. He had to earn it, right?
Yeah,
so, I am like stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, but a lot of people at my school are Max. I'm like one of the only Lewis fans at my school.
That's because they're probably fed up with him winning. That's why.
I just appreciate greatness.
Anyway, we're just gonna go through it now. Anyway, so like, where were we? We were up to Nicholas TV.
he finished like 18th. No, he finished
He finished above Mazepin.
16. 16.
He did well out qualifying. I was gonna say okay actually, because he out qualified
Yeah.
George Russell. Like,
Yeah.
this is a whole genuine performance.
It's
Sonoda,
not just race. Like Yuki Tsunoda.
that was poor, very
Bro,
poor.
I keep defending this man and he keeps letting me down. Sack them, disgraceful performance.
Sat them disgraceful. I don't know what you're on about, mate. Well, I just saw Lewis won. Mate, like, the link's in the chat if you want to come on, Bargav. That is a true legendary performance. Like, that is the
That
GOAT
is one
of
of the
F1.
best race weekends I've seen from any driver.
Like,
What?
and I've seen plenty of them, mate.
Yeah, I
Like,
know. I was born in the wrong year.
Giovinazzi.
I mean, he's been alright, but yeah, I'm gonna put okay actually.
Do you know what? Watch Hamilton's first ever British Grand Prix win at Silverstone. That was a drive, like, he was on another planet. He lapped every single driver but one. He was a minute ahead of the second place man. At times he was 4 seconds a lap quicker than everyone else.
Yeah,
That's how dominant he was.
yeah.
And his title rival at the time, Massa, do you know what he was doing in that race? He was too busy doing cartwheels. You know what I mean? He was too busy doing that. I am spinning
Can I ask you a
around.
question?
Yeah, go on.
Have you heard about what happened recently where
Verstappen, you bottle job. How could the team be blamed? They provide facilities as any top team. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We beat them. I love it.
What?
Yeah, Iki, your mate. You talking? Yeah, bottle
You
job.
beat
Right.
David
Fernando
Coulthard.
Alonso. You beat Tech Cool.
Alonso's won 2 championships, mate.
But he's won 2 championships. Come on, man. You can't have a go at Mr. Fernando's a quality driver. Like, I'm
I
saying
didn't like
Verstappen, you
Fernando
bottle
at
job.
first, but I do like him now. Verstappen, you bottle job.
I love it.
Sorting. Oh no, do you know whose video I'm gonna watch after this?
George was go on.
Let's see what Ben AFC has to say.
Yeah, like, just tell him, come on SFeatleyTV. And
In fact, should I tell him? A guy called SFeatleyTV wants you to come on.
explain your hate.
I'll send you like the link to his TikTok after if you want.
Nah, I've seen the link, man, and I'm just like, explain your hate.
Yeah.
Have the
Verstappen, you
balls to come on
bottle
here and
job.
explain your hate, because you've got nothing to say.
Verstappen, you bottle. No, do you know what I expect the guy to do? The guy who has Max as the go, watch him just come as Lewis the go.
Yeah, he probably changed it now. Like, he's a troll, man. Russell, let's go Russell. Russell, do you know what? I'm gonna put him poor. They both had a very
Considering
he's been off
how
the pace.
he's been,
He's been off this race. They weren't very good this weekend.
Yeah. Although 13th didn't. Why doesn't Raikkonen? Oh, I don't disrespect Raikkonen.
Raikkonen. Yeah, what's Raikkonen? Raikkonen got from, I think,
This guy said why doesn't Raikkonen just retire? Well, he is at the end of the season, mate.
Well, he is, mate. He is.
Do you not keep up with the news?
Who wins the Middle East circuits?
Mazepin.
Hamilton's won the Abu Dhabi before, and Saudi Arabia, and we don't know. And by the way, the game is released that circuit out tomorrow.
Is it actually?
Yes, it is. So I've got to catch up.
Yo, Steve.
I've got to finish that next season.
Oh no, I've got to put my PS4 on rest mode.
Yeah, I've got to also then do PS. So yeah, I've got PS hang on. So yeah, that comes out to mind. Then we've got also the Qatar Grand Prix. Anyone is a
Yeah, I mean,
is a lot. Nah, it's not a lot. Not if his one driver retires, mate. If this Max Verstappen retires, it completely transforms the championship. All of a sudden, now he's got to go chasing, right? And it's all Hamilton's
Verstappen
to
can't
lose.
afford to mess up now.
He can't afford to because it gets in his head. Like mentally, it
I
fucks him.
do. I really have a feeling Verstappen is gonna, or the Red Bull team is gonna
Right.
mess.
Kimi Raikkonen though, he did pretty well to get himself up the
Yeah,
grid,
P12
the
for
pit lane.
Kimi.
So I'd say it's a banger. I'd say it's a good, bang average performance, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you think? Have you heard where I think a Chinese like Shanghai Alpha dealership they've put like congratulations to Guan Yu Zhou to becoming the first.
Yeah, that's coming in.
Do you think
Yeah.
it's true or do you think it's nonsense and
I'll
real?
wait until the official announcement.
I hope it's Gio, man.
I'll just wait. But
Yes.
Sebastian Vettel.
Vettel.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Lando Norris got 10th. What we saying?
I feel like
It's poor, man, for him.
I mean, I feel like
I'm not
is
gonna
it
lie.
just
I
me
don't
that
care if
feels
Connor
like
hates me afterwards.
he
Like,
tried to do a
both.
lot for the first, like, where he tried to get past science. I get that you want to try and, but I feel like he did too much.
I have F1 2000 on my place. Is that the EA Sports one? Like, because I've got it used to be made by what did it used to be made by? Who did it used to made by?
Codemasters?
Studio.
No, they
No,
still
it
made
was
that.
Studio Liverpool that used to make the old ones. That where's the old ones? Let me have a look. Yeah, these ones. Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know why, but I
that's the
would
one
love,
they used to be. That's the one they used to make. That was Studio Liverpool, right?
I would love to play an
I've
old
got
F1 game, man.
F1, yeah, 2000. Yeah, I've got the official one, not the EA Sports one, right? Which is that, and I've got 2000, 2001, 2002. I got F1 or even 98. I've got as well, 98. So I
Yeah,
love
have you been playing all the F1 games since Dave?
Yeah, since 2001.
When's the new one dropping?
New one?
Yeah.
2021.
2022, like.
But
When's
that won't
F1?
be till next summer.
Oh yeah, because the only one just
We ain't
released
even
like
finished this season yet.
Yeah.
Got to finish this season yet. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I have the Studio Liverpool games. Yeah, man, they're quality, man. But make sure to hit the like button, guys. Make sure to hit the subscribe button as well. Really, really important you do that for me, guys. Right, please do smash the like.
Yeah.
Subscribe if you're new. That game was so much easier. No. These games are more harder than they are now. At least with the F1 2021, you can flashback. Like if you make a mistake in these games, you can't make mistakes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso.
He finished ninth. Honestly, Fernando Alonso.
I think he did all right. I think he did okay.
Yeah.
Actually.
I'd put him in
Bang
good
average.
or okay,
Bang
yeah,
average.
bang average.
Right, so we're gonna put who's next?
Esteban Ocon.
What was he doing there?
Who?
Let me have a look.
Ocon.
I forgot to put him in very poor, didn't I? Extremely poor for right. Esteban Ocon.
I'd put same.
Okay. I'd say good actually, to be honest, because he did burn his teammate. Come on.
Yeah.
Pierre
Connor
Gasly
won't be
is
happy with
7th.
that.
Gasly. Gasly, I think, has been quality. Very good performance by Gasly.
He's
Dropped
in my
off a bit in the
opinion.
race.
In my opinion,
Highlights. Oh yeah, we all want to see highlights, don't we?
yeah.
Tell the
Pulling
Waymax
on.
fans. But
I'm a
anyway,
Lewis fan, mate.
there you go. Let's go to the Ferraris now of Carlos Sainz.
I
What are
mean,
we saying, Carlos Sainz?
Carlos. Ooh.
Graphics wise, those games still hold up. Yeah,
I'll honestly put like good,
yeah.
not very good, because I feel like he could
I'd
have
say
finished
both.
it.
I think both Ferraris have been good weekend. Say it, but all weekend they've been good. So
Yeah,
I'll put
Ferrari are
both of
picking
them
up.
there. Yeah,
Ferrari seem to be
I think
doing a lot
Ferrari
better
will pick
now.
up third now. We'll pick up third. I think Ferrari will have third. To be
Yeah,
honest.
so
Sergio Perez.
I mean, I'm honestly gonna put maybe just good or very good, because I don't think
Put
he was
okay,
top
to be
class.
honest.
I don't think, because for me,
From
I
having
don't know if
such a
you've
good
heard,
race, from such a good race in Mexico, he's really just dropped off.
but I feel like, do you know when he's saying, "Oh, can you get Max to give me DRS?" They're not gonna let Perez get DRS. They just want him to defend against Lewis,
Yeah. So
which hurts, because I actually do rate Checo, to be fair.
yeah, it does. But they had a poor weekend. Chris, Valtteri Bottas he had a
Cool.
good weekend, to be honest. Won sprint race.
Yeah.
Didn't have a good start to the race, but helped Hamilton look good, getting out of the way.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think the early stages. Do you know what's here? You see, I'm just watching this replay back. Look at the early stages. Go on, put in Hamilton, immediately get himself up in lap 1, get himself up to 7th, and then back up, and then he'll get past Vettel by the end of lap 1, turn 1. Yeah, that sets him up for the race. You know, getting these early overtakes set him up perfectly for the race. Right,
Yeah,
so
I
watch.
mean,
So he comes. So yeah, he immediately has Vettel down into the next corner. So, and that sets him up for the race. That gives him the perfect chance to go on and attack this race. So, yeah, it was the early stages where I think it was one where he got himself up. Supposedly Max might get a penalty. Yeah, could get a penalty. And then you see how he responds to that.
he should have got a penalty.
Yeah, he should have got a bloody penalty. But there you go.
And I have people calling me a sado for saying Verstappen should have got a penalty.
Speaking of which, Max Verstappen, what are we giving him?
What should we? I do think he had a good drive, but I just feel like as soon as Hamilton got past him, he just looked like he was just going to be second. And I think, honestly, I'm gonna put good, not very good, not top class, just good.
Yeah, to me, it was like I mean, look, and again, looking on board here, you can immediately see, look, Hamilton got end of lap 2 already getting by Sainz, and that's without DRS. So, but yeah, so for me, here I would say very good.
Very good. Yeah, fair enough.
But because by far, without a doubt, Lewis Hamilton is beyond any other driver.
Put him
Beyond any other driver.
Yeah.
By a mile. I don't care what anyone's got to say. He is, this weekend, the frigging best driver on the grid. By a mile.
Wait, there was a
weekend.
debate.
Yeah, anyone that debates this doesn't know anything.
I actually have a friend from the Netherlands who actually hates Verstappen and loves Hamilton.
Yeah, there are Verstappen fans in Netherlands. Don't worry about it.
Obviously, because
yeah, there are some there. But anyway, we're gonna go to Haas. What
What do you expect from Haas? What do you expect from Haas?
Yeah, what do I expect from Haas?
The only reason I even like him is because of Gunter.
Yeah.
And Mick.
Alfa Romeo.
A decent weekend for them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We're gonna go to Williams. Williams very extremely poor weekend for them.
I think considering that Russell has finished in the past few races where he's been in the top 10 at least, I agree.
There we go. Let's go to Alpha Tauri.
I actually have. I might put your reaction to Hamilton overtaking Verstappen as my ringtone.
Really?
Yeah, I might actually do that.
Nah, leave it, man. Leave it out. I'm gonna do that as a video later. Don't worry about it. Like, let's get recorded. Let's get tape. That's getting clipped.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll get a new ringtone.
I might also just clip my reaction to Bottas giving away Hamilton, like the position in Mexico as well.
Yeah, and can you see, like, you can tell that Hamilton also wanted Bottas to do well because he was saying, "Where's Valtteri? Thank you." Like, he was, you know. I don't think Verstappen would have said thank you, Sergio.
Anyway, okay, let's have a look. I think it's also because that they said there you go, and then all of a sudden Hamilton's in third. I think it's he dropped off the turn one so much to let him through.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so so I'd say okay for they had a good weekend with Gasly, but a poor one with Tsunoda. So I'd say okay.
Gasly, man, he is.
He's quality, isn't he?
I'd say he's. But I think he's probably. I wouldn't say the best driver on current form as in because that's Lewis.
Gotta push on Alpine.
8 and 9. Good weekend, could you say? Or bang average? I'd put good.
Bang average.
Okay.
Aston Martin. Poor.
Didn't get any points. Stroll retired.
Very good weekend by Ferrari. Red Bull.
This is going to be interesting.
I would say good.
Yeah.
Not great, but good. Okay. And then Mercedes.
Put them at the top.
Blitz the field. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom, shake
There's
the room.
There's gonna be some idiots calling you biased.
Yeah, they can say what they bloody want. If they want to say what they want. It's one of those. If you want to say what you want, like you can say that all you want. Look at it. Look. Valtteri literally backed the fuck off to let Hamilton through at turn one. He literally backed all the way off. But like, what I want to say is, well, anyone that thinks I'm biased, I don't really care. If you want to challenge my opinion, come on here and say so. Don't just leave it in the comments, mate. Come on here and say it. I've got the link in the chat. If you all think I'm biased, come on and say it. So, but there you go.
Me, I agree with all of your takes.
But yeah. Anyway, we're gonna have to leave it there.
Thank you, because I'm shooted now.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna leave it there. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. We're back tomorrow at some point, I believe. I don't think there's nothing to do tomorrow. There's no Premier League show to review. There's nothing we need to talk about. So I might have the day off tomorrow. So it might be Tuesday. So yeah, I'll let you know. Don't worry. Keep notifications on. Then you'll know when I'm going live. I'll try and get to it as soon as possible. Think of something. Until then, everyone, make sure to smash the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, and we're back and we'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye bye.
Adios.